Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with a video. Well, this is part 2 of the marinated meat video. The meat on the right side is the full original outlaw marinade with the Worcestershire, the fish sauce, all the seasonings. And the meat on the left is the garlic, salt, and garlic powder, salt, and black pepper, the Guga style. So I'm going to stop the video here and then do the taste test to see which one I like more. Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with a video. Well, this is the taste test between the traditional outlaw style marinade with the fish sauce, the Worcestershire, all the seasonings, and then we have the Guga style with the garlic, the salt, and the black pepper. Now, I did not film the cooking process of this, but the way I cooked it is at 350 degrees for 1 hour, covered with foil so that it would cook in its own juices, essentially. And originally I was going to grill these, but as I've been working pretty much all day, every day, and it's still a little too cold to grill at night, which I sometimes do, I decided to just bake these, basically. It's still going to taste the same, but, well, not exactly the same because it won't have the smoky flavor or the char, but I digress. So let's begin, shall we? Oh, that's good. So nice and tender. I can't tell you. It's deliciously tender this pork is. Now, if I remember correctly, country style ribs come from the pork belly area. So there's a lot of intramuscular fat that makes the meat soft. That was quite good. But palate cleanser, that's very important if you're going to taste test things in succession, because normally it takes about, I generally want to say 8 to 10 minutes for your taste buds to no longer register a flavor. Now we move over to a much more benign marinade. I can definitely taste the garlic because of how much I put in here. But oddly enough, and I cooked these both at the same time, by the way. Oddly enough, the Guga marinade meat is just ever so slightly tougher. It's still quite tender and delicious, but it's just a hair bit tougher. If I had to give a comparison, it'd be like if you ran your fingers over 800 grit sandpaper, which is this, and if you ran your fingers over 600 grit sandpaper, which is here. I mean, it's not, the meat's not pull apart tender. But it's not tough. As we can see here. See all that nice juice bubble. No. Among the big three of the meat world, which if you don't know, in the meat world there are the three big meats, the three most commonly cooked and smoked meats. That is beef, pork, and chicken. Chicken and beef are slightly more forgiving when it comes to drying out than pork is. Chicken is the most forgiving from my experience, both breast and dark meat. Beef depends on the cut. If it's a very fat-rich cut, then it's generally more forgiving in the drying out process. I've smoked London broils that came out just chef's kiss, leaking juices. But pork, on the other hand, even if it's laced with fat, the meat itself is very unforgiving if cooked wrong. You can completely submerge the shit, and it can still come out very dry. Not this instance. We saw that with the close-up. But it is worth mentioning to know that they can come out very dry. And even some experienced chefs have issues cooking pork. But so far, I would say that this is a complete success. Now, it's a personal thing, but I don't like eating fat. I don't like the gelatinous texture. However, I usually just eat around fat. Now, for the difficult part, the ranking. I say difficult because that's what I'm going to say, oh outlaw. You cooked this. You cooked it. You made the marinade to your taste. Naturally, you're going to love it. And no, actually, there have been times I've cooked something that I thought was going to taste good that ended up tasting terrible, and I ended up throwing it away because I just knew I was not going to eat it. It usually happens every time I try to make fried rice. Or I made so much of it that I just lost like the taste for it. But what would I give these two? Overall, I'm going to give my original marinade recipe. It's the marinade I use all the time for pretty much everything that I marinate. A 10 out of 10. I can highly recommend. Now, as for the Guga version, like Guga Foods, he seasons everything he grills with salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. As for the Guga marinade that I made, 9 out of 10. And you're probably wondering, oh, naturally Outlaw wouldn't give someone else's marinade a perfect score. And like, no, the reason that I'm giving this a 9 out of 10 is A, it tastes delicious, but this is without my personal biases. Because I personally love watching Guga's Foods content. Alright? It's because of Guga that I've started to do more cooking videos, because I've watched him and I'm emulating him to an extent. And with my personal biases removed, it's a 9 out of 10. With my personal biases added, because I love Guga's content, it's a full out of 10. I always give reasoning behind my scores. I add context, if you will. But yeah, it's not a bad marinade. It's just, if I remove my personal biases and go strictly off of flavor, it's missing that umami flavor. And some of you are probably wondering, what the hell is umami? Well, it's basically Japanese for fishy, salty, savory flavor. This is good, but it doesn't have the same umami flavoring as my original marinade because it doesn't have any fish sauce or Worcestershire sauce. Fish sauce, Worcestershire sauce, MSG, all those things have umami flavoring. Sardines have it, fish paste has it, shrimp paste has it. A lot of your soy sauce has umami flavoring as well. Your salty, savory, darker sauces like your Worcestershires, your soy sauces, your, like I said, fish sauces, those all are packed with umami flavoring. Sardines have umami flavoring as well, which, by the way, hot take, I personally like pineapple sardine pizza every once in a while. I find sardines a little too salty personally for an everyday thing, but it's not that bad. But yeah. And I personally love umami flavor. Alright? As Uncle Roger would probably say, I'm the one white man that doesn't cower in the face of fish sauce or shrimp paste. I'd probably eat shrimp paste on its own because it's basically dried up, dehydrated shrimp that's been mashed into a paste as far as I'm aware. So, for Uncle Roger, I say, for you, very good. I know someone's going to comment on that. But yeah, I love Uncle Roger, I love Guga, I love that they did a collaboration together. And I'm not like Jamie Oliver and ruin everything. Trust me, you watch any chef react to Jamie Oliver, we share the same opinion. Alright? And I'm not a chef, I'm basically what you'd call a home cook. I don't have the qualities or the qualifications to be a pro chef. Plus, I'd probably cuss out I'd probably be a more cussy version of Gordon Ramsay. Like, they say Gordon Ramsay's behavior is all fake on TV. No, I'd be the real redneck version of him. But in any case, until next time, my noble band of outlaws, Outlaw Samurai tells all y'all be crazy rednecks to take and use your weapons and try the marinades for yourself. If you want to know the recipe, it's in the previous video. So that has been uploaded right before this one. So until next time, I'm out. Peace.